line because I keep forgetting this. Plus. Hey yo, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. This week, I'm going to be talking about some fantasy tropes that make me go, no thank you, But first, I'd like everybody to know that I'm still recruiting beta readers for my short story, Not For Her, a crime caper about a shady man trying to do the right thing for mostly selfish reasons. If that at all sounds interesting to you, please apply at samanthaalnasset.com/beta. Beta rounds should be finishing up soon. Speaking of fantasy tropes, you want to know a dark fantasy arc that I have received that is definitely one of my favorite fantasy novels of all time and has a lot of my favorite tropes? That would be The Savior's Sister by Jenna Marosi, companion novel to the awesome Savior's Champion. If forbidden romance, political intrigue, and action is something you like in your dark fantasy, I highly recommend it. Not to mention, if you pre-order, which ebook, paperback, and hardcover are up for pre-order right now, then you can enter Jenna Marosi's pre-order giveaways. She picks a new winner like every week. Win-win. I will include all essential links in the description down below. Final reminder before hopping into the video that these are all my opinions and preferences for tropes. I'm not like saying any of these tropes are the worst thing in the world, just that, not my taste. Doesn't mean that other people can't like them, just means that I probably am not going to. Alright, so let's jump into this week's video. 9 fantasy nope tropes for me. Yeah, we know her. She hates her studies, she hates the stifling life of being a princess. She's bad at all the things she was trained to do since birth, but good at all the things that she's not supposed to be able to do, like fighting or archery. And she's really irresponsible because she's just constantly sneaking out of the castle to go do whatever the fuck she wants. I specified princess for this because usually, even if a prince doesn't want to be a prince, he's still generally good at doing all of the princey stuff that princes do, whereas princesses usually make it a point of how bad they are at being a princess. I'm a 90s baby, so for me, she was everywhere, and I would still probably read or watch anything with her in it. I'm just not that into her anymore because, well, I've actually read up a lot on history of princesses in various cultures, and you know what? They were actually pretty badass in their own ways. And actually, I'm starting to see more and more stories with princesses being, well, badass princesses, and I'm really loving it. So, sorry, anti-princess. It's not me, it's you. Bye. And speaking of characters who don't like to do their jobs, saving the world is a pretty big task. Huge, gigantic even. I can understand being a little reluctant at first or hitting some breaking point that just makes one not want to do it anymore. But I really don't like it when a character just doesn't want to save the world through most of the story. There are actually probably really interestingly ways to do this. Like if the hero doesn't want to save the world, but their sibling does, so they go along with it until something happens to their sibling or their sibling dies, and then they're like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to save the world anymore. In general, though, this hero just kind of whines about not wanting to save the world through most of the story, and then I just kind of want to punch them in the face. I get it, MC. Your life sucked, it still sucks, you suck. Can we just throw the MC out and get a whole new one, please? Which kind of leads into the world is shitty. I mean, look, I picked up a fantasy novel. I don't appreciate when it turns out to be a fantasy dystopia where everything is shitty, unless you are one of the corrupt social elite, and they're the bad guys, and we know they're the bad guys because they don't give a shit about anybody beneath them or the lower class, and hey, they might even enjoy torturing them. Look, I get enough of that in the real world. I want my fantasy to be a little bit more escapism. Plus, there's so many other interesting ways to write a fantasy world and still bring strife to the main characters. Like curses. Somebody pissing off the local nature spirit. A random ass deity deciding, you know what, I want to cause a little chaos and wreak havoc today. Something magical. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy some good human corruption, but balanced with not total bleakness. Because I am a human who mildly enjoys devil advocating herself, I can enjoy a good Mary, Gary, Larry, Carrie stew when written well. That's because it's a character type, and I can enjoy like almost any character type given a good story. Even so, it still bugs me when an MC is trained for 10 minutes and all of a sudden they can go 1v1 with their rival who's trained their whole life. There are, of course, exceptions or variables that can change things. Magic can be unpredictable. There can be some sort of species advantage that suddenly shows up, lichen skills or instincts. I mean, I'm a huge fan of underdog stories, but I still like to know that the underdog earned it. I like to, work with them as they earn that ability to beat the fucking shit out of the condescending rival. When it just kind of goes yeah, I'm learning to jab now. Ha! You suck, I've been doing this my whole life. Oh yeah? Well, I mean, I just started today, but let's go. Bam! Ha! You suck! Yeah, yay? Why do I care? That was fast. Alright. There's just no build up there. There's no payoff. I don't like it. And don't get me started when it's the fucking love interest. It just... Next biscuit burner. Prophecies may seem a little familiar, because they were also on my Dope Tropes fantasy list. But as I briefly mentioned there, I can't stand set in stone, can't change this no matter what you do prophecy. I don't know what I was doing with my hands, but we're going with it. I've seen stories where protagonists, they sacrifice, they suffer, they bleed. I suffer with them. We go through all the things and then the prophecy happens anyway because it was foretold as destiny. And what is this bullshit and fucking... what was the fucking point of this story? Why? Can't we just not? Most tropes on my Nopes list are tropes that I don't necessarily enjoy them, but I'm usually willing to give them a try so long as they're not problematic. But then we have tropes like this one, where I'm just no, I don't even want to read the story. Bye. See ya. Get out. Don't let the door hit you where it should have bit you. Bye-bye. This may come as a shock to you, but I'm not really a pacifist. I don't mind if a character is, but it's not really a trait that's gonna endear them to me. Especially when we get to that point where it's kill or the world is bye-bye. See, in stories like this, usually the narrative starts to focus on, should the MC kill the bad guy? Should the MC spare the bad guy? Is it right to kill the bad guy? And I'm just sitting here, I don't really care anymore. I'll stick around because there's generally side characters that I'm very invested in at this point. But 9 times out of 10, this fucker done killed thousands of people already. And it's not even a question of whether or not the MC is should I kill the bad guy because I don't want to be like the bad guy and I don't want to kill people. No, it's we shouldn't kill the bad guy because killing is wrong, even though we've probably killed hundreds of faceless, nameless background characters at this point. Or my companion / side characters that Sam really likes have killed people before, so they could kill the bad guy. No, it's just, should we kill the bad guy? Shouldn't we kill the bad guy? And I'm fucker murdered people. I think he gonna kill the rest of the world. It's probably fine now. It's just not my cup of tea. It just isn't. Now, something that is strangely missing from the fantasy genre at large, or I just really need to read more books, probably both, queerness! What, am I really supposed to believe that in all these magical realms and all these magical worlds, every single species and person and thing is cis and straight? Yeah, sure, okay, we have romances with dragons, we have people who make contracts with demons for power, and we have chicken lizards that can turn people into stone, but no homo. No homo, bro. That's what I'm supposed to believe. So I'm just supposed to believe that there are no cultures or anything in these fantasy worlds that have anything more than a gender binary, even though there's a lot of cultures in our own world that have more than 2 genders? Yes, this all makes complete and total sense to me. This is one of the perfect, if not the perfect genre to explore literally anything in. One could create a race that's basically humans, except you can shapeshift into like whatever you want. So literally they could be gender fluid. Just today I want to have boobs. Tomorrow I don't want to have boobs. It would be great. I'm getting off on a tangent, but basically I just want more representation of everything. More queerness, more diversity, more people with disabilities being portrayed as cool. That would be fun too. Yeah, thank you kindly. We'll go to the next note trope yet. Whew, boy, there's actually a lot to unpack with this one, but the first of which is just when it's used as a punishment because women are sexually active, which is actually done more in contemporary. So we're not gonna hit that one today. We're gonna focus on the second one. Hello, this is my buddy. Pregnancy is a fucking wear on the body. You know what makes it worth it? A precious little baby that the prego person wanted. You know what doesn't make it worth it? Being forced to be pregnant. I can only imagine adding on to that, will my baby destroy the world? Like, nah, fuck that. You know, I'm the kind of mom that's like, if it's my baby or the world, fuck the world, I'm picking my baby. So there's only one way I'm gonna continue to like this mom character. 2, usually it boils down to mom is gonna have to kill demon baby or demon dad comes and steals demon baby. And I'm not okay with either of those. I would rather read about a forbidden romance with human mom and demon dad's like gotta take care of his demon business. And while human mom is dealing with demon pregnancy, I don't know, she floats in her sleep or accidentally explodes the neighbor's head because they were being an asshole. Maybe not that last part. Point being, I don't want to see women being punished with pregnancies or demon babies. And our final trope is also woman-centered. I want it to be clear, I love characters who own their sexuality. I don't really care what their orientation or genders are. However, we begin to have an issue when some red flags start popping up. For example, imagine in a cast of like 7 characters, there's only 2 who are female. Alright, so one of them is dressed modestly and the other is dressed a little sexually provocative. Okay, not so bad. These 2 women are also both very powerful. Okay, cool. But the sexy one is evil. Alright, well now we have an issue, right? And of course, because she's sexy and she's evil, she's gotta use her feminine wiles to like, you know, get her way a lot of the time. Look, I love a good femme fatale as much as the next femme fatale lover, but when she's the only powerful, sexy female in the cast, it presents an issue. I mean, an easy fix is to just have more than 1 or 2 female characters to every 4 or 5 male characters in a cast. Hey, then we can have sexy, powerful women everywhere. Or, you know, powerful women who don't want to dress sexy. Variety is the spice of life, and I'm here for it. And before I get complaints about sexism, here's the thing with homme fatales. I don't actually see homme fatales enough for them to be a problem. I mean, I can't be bothered by something that I don't see. And if you're seeing a lot of things with homme fatales, send them my way, because I would really love to see more homme fatales. Post your homme fatales in the comments down below. Alright everyone, that's all I got for you this week. What are some fantasy tropes that make you just nope, close the book, put it down, walk away? What gets your biscuits a-burning? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree with any of mine? Do you like any of the ones I said? It's okay, friendly discourse is encouraged. I'm still hosting live streams every Monday at 7 p.m. We're changing up the format, I don't know when, whenever I feel like. We'll see. Remember folks, if you're curious about whether or not I can write, you can check out my website right here. It is samanthaalnasset.com. Or you can stalk me on social medias at Samantha L. Nasset. I have got Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram. As always, I have all relevant links in the description down below. If you liked this video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe, maybe ring-a-ding that bell. I make new videos and post them hopefully every Wednesday. And I'll see you next week when we have a special video. Alright, Sam. Ouch. No, the credits go the other way. My finger got caught in my pants. I was on a roll. Unless. Camera, we're gonna fight. Deadpool. He's a mean one. Mr. Satan is dead. Devil. Because I am a human who cannot say the word devil. Don't be want me in the backyard, bitch. Magic Kimberly.